Werewolves.
Ooh, the werewolves.
It sounds very dark and atmospheric.
It's the werewolves. How you going, man? You all right?
Yeah, good. Better than the last time we sat down for like one of these interviews, that's for sure.
We're in a different spot. You're on the couch now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because we've done up the lounge room where I normally do these interviews, and it looks absolutely $1,000,000 in there. I had someone say the other day that they could like track our lounge room renovations basically by thumb tabs searching my name on YouTube and checking the interviews. Sorry, thumbnails. So I should do one of these interviews in there so we get the final job in there. But nah, they're all watching telly.
Oh, they've kicked you out. Kicked you out, eh?
No, I've kicked me in. So I'm sort of in my little work room, so I kind of wore myself off in here, so I can like just focus on any alerts or work coming through, and pick up a guitar during the slack moments.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, man, you got to have your little space though, hey? As if you don't,
Yeah,
crazy. But hey, man, it's good to actually talk to you again. Like,
yeah,
we do this once a year, I think.
yeah. There's a few guys now that like I get this wonderful, in-depth, great big chat in with like a few times a year or once a year, usually minimum now, and it's been going on for the last 4 or 5 years. So yeah, it's just it's pretty good. I like catching up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Because you're about to release album number 25. What does it feel
Or
like?
thereabouts.
Or about. Keep pumping them out. But they're great. No, album number 5, Die For Us on July 19. And man, last time we spoke, you were already working on it,
Yes.
which is nuts.
Yeah, crikey, I think back then it was amazing we didn't have it finished by then, but yeah, it's all done. It's all finished. How do I feel? I'm a husk. I'm absolutely empty. I feel like dying. I got nothing left. When I pee, just like a puff of yellow dust comes out. That's how much this has taken from me. No, it's great. Like putting out albums will never get old for us. Like it's always a great thing to have it in your hands and actually like sort of I've got it literally in my hands right now.
Oh.
Yes, so that's this bit is like it's always satisfying. Yeah, you're right.
I
I
want
need like a I need a Larry Emder filter on this thing to do it properly. But yeah, that's the bit that we always enjoy. This year's been like quite a bit harder. There was a bit of a shake-up just in the boring sort of like background bit of it. It's a self-release, so there was a lot of work to be done. Setting up sort of international distribution as well as like all the PR, press, media, comms, all that kind of stuff. And that's it's not why you joined a band.
No.
But that was the bad news. But the good news is that's done. So now we can just like keep squeezing them out one after the other, and it shouldn't be anywhere near as laborious as this year's been. But yeah, like I'm pumped about it, and I'm actually taking a brief moment this time to just enjoy the album. Before we rip into recording number 6, which of course Matt has already written.
Oh, so it's already on the go.
Yes, yeah.
Oh man,
In fact, yeah, I was going to say, look, the guys I think they're paying a little bit of attention to their other bands this year, seeing as though Werewolves like sucked up a lot of bandwidth in 2023. But I think Dave is actually working on drums for Faustian album number 2 at the moment.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah. That's been written as well, and it's freaking amazing. But like once that's done, then I think then it will be on to Werewolves. I think.
Oh man. And it's just, would you say it's like the same process? Like even lyrically, have you got a way of finding that creativity or creative space, or have you tried to mix that up a little bit for yourself personally?
with werewolves, or
Yeah, with werewolves, or both of those projects being that they're the same sort of members.
there are similarities. Like there's a lot of just what I call magpieing, where I listen to people around me, or like TV shows or stuff like that, and just make a note of cool things I hear or ideas or phrases that really ring out. And then when I go onto the Word document, which is just a swamp usually of obnoxious phrases and like tough guy statements, then you start noticing that's some have similar sentiments to the others, so you can sort of like mix and match and jigsaw puzzle them together a bit, and then at the end you just fill in some of the blanks. So Wells, it's fairly straightforward, and I always try and come up with like a flavor, I guess, for that, so it doesn't feel too much like you're just getting the identical album coming out each year. Faustian, this time around, I'm definitely got a concept in mind. There's some parables like from the Bible, which we like puns in this band. We like sort of taking ideas and sort of subverting them. And with werewolves, that's almost more done for comedic effect. But with Faustian, I think similar thing can be done. Not so much puns, but just inverting ideas for like evil effect, which seeing as though it's black metal is the name of the game.
So with that though, how did that project come about? Because I don't think you mentioned it last time we spoke. Sort of just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, we recorded it a couple of years ago. I think it was maybe the last year of COVID, and Matt and Dave had like a spare week, so they were like, "Let's do a black metal album." And out it came. And similar deal, they were sort of like, do you want to do vocals on it? And with Wells, it was a straightforward yes. With Faustian, I was kind of like, oh, I'll give it a go, because like those with death metal, like I can stand next to anyone, and I've got knowledge of the genre inside out, and what's going on in the history of it, and fucking everything. Whereas with black metal, that's very much not the case. I wasn't there like at ground zero. In fact, like I ignore 99% of it. And I don't tend to like it. To me, it sounded always, except for a few shining examples, like kind of like punk music, where it was more attitude than interesting music. When it hits, and it's great. But there was just so few examples of that. And standing next to some like guys like Matt and Dave, where they do have a very, very, very thorough knowledge of it, as well as like enough, I guess, respect or cred to be able to like move in and out of that genre at will. I really felt like I was, taking part in something I had no idea about, which is true. I got a little bit of help earlier on. I think it was the year that we did the death metal EP. So that was the third album, which would be around 2002. And Eric from The Ament was living down here in Adelaide, and like Matt and Dave, he's way more au fait with the whole black metal thing. And I went over to his place for a day. Like he had a mic sort of recording set up there, and we just sort of experimented for a day. The whole idea was like I'd find a voice to kind of use with the material, and ended up finding three or four different voices to use with it. So kind of just like interwove them together, and it turned really into its own thing. But yeah, that's a bit indulgent. Werewolves comes easy. Faustian didn't for me, but this next album, I'm kind of like champing at the bit to go for. I very much know exactly what we're doing, and yeah, I'm very, very excited about that one. In fact, the next Werewolves, like Die For Us, I'm happy about, but I've been listening to that for about the last 8 months now on board. So yeah, it's great by it. But I'm sort of like, I'm all stoked about like, now Werewolves number 6 and Faustian number 2. Like, yeah, anyone who hasn't heard Faustian number 1, like, go for it. It's on Bandcamp. Just check it out. And if it sparks even the slightest amount of interest, yeah, you got something coming your way.
Man, I love it. And Die For Us is sick. It's such a great album. Like, I don't know, man.
Thanks, man.
I don't know. I can't fault what you guys do at all.
Ah, cheers.
It's just, you know what you're doing. It's quality. And it starts off with a big fuck you, which I think every Werewolves album should, you know.
Yeah, no, the great big long get
That's the one.
fucked.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And a bit of some appropriate samples as well.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It was like we were kind of stuck coming up with the album title for this one, and eventually I was just like, let's just call it Die for Us, because I reckon that's the best track on the album. Like, normally you put the singles and the best tracks like a little bit further on to draw people along. This time we're just like coming out blazing. As far as I'm concerned, we're coming out blazing with the best track we've ever done, right from the get-go. And we've successfully managed to hide that from everyone right up until release. So anyone who's been following like the singles or the videos that we've been doing, and thought, oh yeah, cool, I'm pumped for it. Oh fuck, you got no idea. Like,
Yeah.
opening tracks, just such a mega kick to the balls.
It is, and it's a bit different too. I don't know if I call it symphony. It's got I don't know. Is there keyboards and stuff in there? It's a bit.
Nah, not with that one. No,
It's just a
we don't do
melodic
keyboards.
sort of riff.
Keyboards are false.
Wow. Okay.
No, it's Dave's blasting along when it opens up, but he's kind of doing this thing he started doing on the last few albums where he'll be playing it'd normally be an open E, but we're in D, so he's playing that and then moving like octaves around, sort of like on the lower strings to almost kind of like death metal sitar sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it creates a big sound. And it may even be just an advancement in Joe's production as well. But yeah, we haven't put any keys or synths or strings or like acoustic guitars or like falsetto vocals or anything like that on this. Just
No. But
no,
I don't know.
no sellout, no mercy.
No. But I was trying to pick it, man. I was like, it's cool. You're right. It is a really strong fucking track, and people are gonna lose their shit when they see it or hear it. Oh man, but
I'd love to play it live. It'd be the funniest song to play live. Like we always we've always been closing the live set with "I Don't Like You." It's because it's just such a great way to go out. But if ever we're going to replace that, I reckon this could be the song we replace it with. Just it's. Yeah, because after you play it, the promoter and the venue guy, they're going to be like, get the fuck out because of the lyrics.
Good, eh? Yeah. Another one I really liked was Under a Urinal Moon.
Yeah, you got Matt to thank for that one. In fact, he came up with the song titles Under a Urinal Moon and also Beaten Back to Life.
Like that's
it was so weird, man. My job is just to get these like crackhead song titles like off Matt and then try and like string together some lyrics underneath it. And in both cases, I did it by completely ignoring the song title and coming up with something different.
So the file that he sent through, is that what he named the file?
No, those files get different names, which will never ever be revealed or spoken of. Every band's the same, man. Every band, when they got their raw files, will just be something that, like, if your partner or your work ever found out you were calling it stuff like that, they're just you'd be going through life with a big question mark over your head. So, yeah, no,
I think band chats are the same. Everyone just tries to, one up each other and be as horrible. You fuckers know you do it too. Every single one of you out there do it. Everyone's as horrible as each other. But, if any other person outside would be like, oh no.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's just us basically asking Dave, like, what the merch breakdown is for the last quarter and, just getting PDFs off him.
Yeah. Just very vanilla, normal conversations.
No.
You also released some videos for the singles so far, including Spittle-Flecked Rant. Yeah, I said it. Hey, which involves a lot of phlegm. It's really fucking gross, and I loved it. It was great.
Thank you. Yeah, that sucked to make. Like, anyone who hasn't seen one of our videos, it's a good one to start off with. It's atypical for us because it almost sounds like a hardcore song when it kicks off. Sort of like goes from hardcore to grindcore to death metal to then like a burst of technical metal like in the middle, and repeat. But like, it's the music video only goes for just over 2 minutes, so you won't be wasting too much of your life on us, like if you watch it. But we filmed that in Melbourne at the same studio we rehearse in, which is Anubis Studios. And I had the idea for it, like, because I'd seen lots of other metal bands' music videos, and you get usually like the guy in the really tight jeans and the gauge piercings in the ears, like like that, and spluttering and sweating. And I was like, well, let's just take that idea and absolutely go way too far with it. So Spittle-Flecked Rant as well, the title was begging for like a drool themed video, and I know all I need to do to basically pass any idea, get any idea past Matt or Davis to go something drool, something caveman, something, and they're with it. So yeah, we basically shrink wrapped a rehearsal studio. It looks like a scene from Dexter, like we were going to dismember someone in there, but we just basically spluttered everywhere, and everyone's like kind of going, what was the drool, what were you using for the drool? And that was basically I tried a few things. I had to do all the experimenting by myself at home, and what I discovered was Victoria Bitter creates the best instant froth, a good consistency, but like with plenty of like viscosity, so like can splatter and spray, as well as like get the big aesthetic hangs. The only problem with it is it fucking stinks. Like when you get three guys who are sort of like swishing it in their mouths and then splurting it everywhere, like over this serial killer fucking shrink wrapped video set. After about 5 hours of that, just think of the mankiest nightclub you've ever been to, and that was the vibe we were packing there. And the whole thing wasn't helped by the fact that the guy filming it, Rob Brens, like he wanted some sort of like goopy, clear, stringy shots coming off like the cymbals and guitars and stuff, and he sort of concocted up this fructose, sucrose, filthy ass mixture. That he liberally dashed over everything, and it went sort of like a mixture of sticky and slippery. Like, so when it came to cleanup time, we did a pretty good job, but like the door handles and sort of like the little bit of corridor just out the front was just the guy. I think the guy texted Dave like the next day and was like, "You guys weren't filming porn in there, were you?" He's like, "The handles are all sticky."
Oh.
And we're like, no, that will be the next video.
Hey, if Rammstein can do it,
No, they can do it because they're Rammstein. Like you got to get Rammstein sort of like sized and be like a degenerate Teutonic like Deutsche motherfucker to get away with that sort of shit. A band our size, like we're all in happy relationships, man. No.
But how was it working with? I mean, Rob's a legend. He's a good dude. How was it working with him in videos?
Yeah, like to be honest, like all great things, it first came about kind of like accident. So last year we did the music video for Under the Ground with him. And what had happened was like I was booked in to, fly over to Melbourne from Adelaide to do a couple of videos in one weekend plus the band shoot, because that's how we roll. And we had like these guys who had done the Harvest of the Skulls film clip. We had these guys like lined up, sort of like film students, sort of dudes who, knew all their shit inside out and very capable. We had them lined up and they all cancelled like about just less than a week out. And, I think one of them was like, had got COVID the week before, and we're kind of like, dude, as long as it's not within 4 or 5 days, I'm like, I've had my shots, and Matt and Dave don't care. Like, so, we're game if you are, and they just kind of vanished and stopped responding to everything. And so we're kind of freaking out a bit because we've got a timeline to release videos by, which we hadn't made yet, and I had a plane ticket for Melbourne, which was to get all this shit done. So we turned up there, and we were kind of like, we lined up Jimmy Harmsworth, who used to be the drummer for Bournemouth. Like, we lined up him to do the video for Destroyer of Worlds. Oh, so much fucking videos and albums and shit to remember, dude. I swear to God, I'm probably like lost so many words and memories just from having to pack it into that bit of the brain. Anyway, so we got there, and we were kind of like, we still hadn't worked out what we were going to do, but we'd organised Rob to do a photo shoot for us because he'd started doing shots and whatnot. So he was halfway through doing the photo shoot, and we were like going, "Hey, Rob, this is pretty good. This lighting's pretty good. Does that camera do video?" And he's like, "Actually, it does." And we're like, "Oh, how would you feel about making a music video for us?" And he goes, "Oh, okay, like what, in a couple of weeks or next month?" And we were like, "How about right now?" And we just fully dropped him on the spot. And he was like, I can try. And we're like, could you please? So that whole video was just a spontaneous decision. And that launched Rob's stellar music video career right then and there. He's a little bit different in that, like, he sort of approaches it more like a photographer, like he's looking for, the shot, whereas we're kind of like, dude, we've done music videos with like our mobile phones before, just use filters, use effects, use all sorts of shit. Like, you don't have to like get the perfect, crisp lighting and effects and, all the rest of it, like in person. You can fuck with it thoroughly afterwards. But it makes for something different to what we've been doing previously, that's for sure.
And it's awesome. Will you work with him more in the future? Is that the plan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, with Werewolves, because we do so much so quick, we try and find people who know what they're doing, work hard, deliver fast, don't ask around, and stick with them.
It's a way to do it. That's the way to do it, man. We got a guy we work with, Kyle. Shout out to Kyle. Real good buddy of mine. He came on board, and he's just been awesome with us. Like, yeah.
Having said that, I was going to say, I've got an idea for not only the title of the next Werewolves album, but the song that we're going to do a music video for, and I know what I want to do for it. I've got to talk to Rob to see if he can like learn up those skills within a year, and if not, might have to change it up just for that, because it's another stupid and ridiculous idea that we kind of specialize in. So, but yeah, Rob's like at the top of our preference list for doing anything.
Count me in. Whatever it is, count me in. I love what you guys do. It's awesome. Like, I like what you guys are doing visually, and the albums right now. It's great. You guys are in a really cool creative space, man. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got it kind of going on. Like, this is hard. Like, it's, Dave's mega super busy. Matt's running at his usual pace. He's in Japan at the moment, like with his rock band. So they're called Shotgun Mistress, and they're doing pretty damn well at the moment.
Yeah.
So look, second half of the year is looking a bit more death metal for him. And as for me, like I've got an eldest kid doing year 12, and the younger one's also in high school. So, it's a busy period. We always knew this year would be like a bit of a tough one, bit of a grind. So we're happy just to be getting stuff sort of done and out, even if it's not at the normal speed and rate and profusion that we normally operate at.
And when was the last time I saw you? It was in Brisbane.
At the zoo.
The zoo. Man,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Absolutely. I never got to play there. But man, how was that tour with Archspire? That would have been crazy.
If only every tour could be like that. It was such
really
fun. Yeah, look, there's so many times in music that you tour with bands or headliners, and they're either like standoffish, or they're just a bit cunty, and or they've just kind of like landed in the headliner slot just through luck more than anything. Although that doesn't happen too much in death metal. It's usually hard work and talent, that gets them to the top. So, but yeah, with Archspire, it was like, they're five lovely guys, five lovely, supremely talented, lucky guys who have worked super hard, and are reaping the benefits, and it's just so wonderful to see. And similar with Ingested, like they're not doing anything half as technical, the way I see it, as like Archspire, but they work hard, and they've made some, talking to them, made some huge sacrifices in their life, like, in some cases involving moving countries, like quitting jobs, creating sort of like, company structures or whatever, just to really give the living through music thing the best possible go that you can. So in both cases, it was really good to see just like nice guys who were fucking grinding away, getting somewhere, and deserved every bit of fortune that was coming their way. And the Archspire guys are fucking hilarious to travel with as well. Like, just practical, ruthless, relentless, practical jokers, and just enjoying themselves. It's fun to be around. It was really different from the Mayhem tour, like, which we also really enjoyed. But just such a different vibe. Like, and it didn't hurt either that I was really loving watching Archspire play every night as well. Like, that was a bonus. One of the funniest things actually happened towards the end of it. Like, the last night we had on the tour was in Adelaide, and a few of us got on the piss, like the Ingested boys, me and Matt, and Spencer as well, like, came down and got involved. And there was just a night of like trading stories, like, and tour gossip and that sort of thing. Like, it was very good fun. There was a story that was leading towards, and it's completely, shot through, unfortunately. I can't remember what it was, but sorry, it was going to be way more hilarious than that. If I think of it in the last 7 minutes, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Oh, can you see the timer? Is it just me, or is it you see the timer as well?
Dude, it's like 3-body problem. It's right there in front of my eyes. Yeah.
Neither. I wish you'd come down to like 10 you have 10 seconds to comply. Like, but
ED209.
I've got him sitting up there looking at me saying, hurry.
I do what he says.
Yeah. I should do that and film myself. And it just goes on for like 2 minutes, like the extended version where it just don't touch it.
I just imagine someone asking Paul Verhoeven, like, how many squibs do you want on him? And like Paul going, yes.
Yes, he goes, all of them.
All of them.
All of them. Love it. One of the greatest things ever. If I brought him down to show you, he talks. You push the button and he talks.
Oh,
I love it.
Give us some. Just give us a speech from ED209. Let's hear it.
Where's the button? See if I can bring him down without crushing the. There we go. Hey.
Yes.
Where's his button? Oh, I've lost his button. I'm wasting fucking time looking for his button.
Well, it wasn't for nothing, because I've just remembered like what the story was I was going to tell you, like,
awesome.
About that last night on tour.
Ed can go over here.
So like we kind of like said to the guys, can we just grab a couple of shots, photos before we go, and they're like, can we grab some shots? And I think Toby, like from Archspire, came down. Can I get some shots with you guys, like, so I can boast that I got it, got a shot from tour with the guys from Berserker? And I was like, huh? That band? And he's like, yeah. And the Ingested guys were like, yeah, dude, we all grew up on that shit. And Sean, the guitarist, was like, "Oh, I went to one of your shows, like, right back in the day, like early 2000s," and I was just like, "Fuck, this is so weird." We're going like from like full, world touring headlining to, being the opening band and the headliners being these young guys going, "Yeah, we watched you when we were growing up and getting into metal." Like, it was, I tried to like play it off cool and go, "Oh, awesome, yeah, come on, yeah, you can get a photo," but like I'm really inside, I was just going.
Oh, that is fucking cool, man.
And the funny thing, I'm probably having more fun sort of like as the opening band to these guys than I ever did like as a headlining band.
That's so cool. That's awesome, man. How it turned full circle. Did they?
Yeah,
Man, that's unreal. That's unreal. Would any of that stuff see a re-release? The Berserker stuff?
Berserker. Earache kind of re-releases it periodically, as Earache does, like with all their old bands, like, and we usually find out about it because someone will message us or text us, not from the label, like some random person will be like, "Did you know that they've remastered blah blah and re-released?" And we're like, "Huh? What? No." So yeah, that's all that will happen with it. There's not much like, I don't think there's much, if any, stuff on the cutting room floor that's ever going to see, a release with unheard of songs. There is all the stuff that was recorded for like, what was going to be the album in 2020, sorry. But again, I don't think that's ever going to see the light of day. Sorry.
Bummer. But hey, man, we got plenty of other stuff to keep us busy. I mean, are you gonna hit the road? I know you said it's a difficult year. There's lots going on behind the scenes, but are you gonna come up and play a show up here or somewhere?
I'd love to. We've only got 2 shows booked at the moment. They're both in Melbourne. They're both on the same weekend, like September 13th and 14th. So there's one on the Friday night. I think it is supporting Colossus doing a CD launch. I don't know if they've announced that. So hey, exclusives. And then there's Hell on the Bay, which is on the 14th. I think Saturday 14th of September, and that goes for 2 nights. And we'll be on a night with Orpheus Amiga and Freedom of Fear. So
both amazing bands, good people.
So yeah, dude, I'm going to very much enjoy not being sort of like alone on the plane over from Adelaide. That'll be grouse. But like, I think it's going to be hilarious because they're both very, very competent, polished. If for bands like sort of at that stage in their career, they're as polished as anyone, like, circling the globe. And then you got us, like professional dipshits. It's going to be an interesting contrast.
You play that down like you guys are professional. You guys are tight. You guys know what you're doing.
All right.
Oh yeah. Played it down.
Look, I hope we know what we're doing after this long. Matt and Dave definitely do. I'm, crossing the fingers we get a rehearsal in before these shows kick off.
Just wing it. You can do it. You can do it, man. Like I've seen you twice. I've been lucky enough to see you guys twice, and it's fucking awesome. Like,
thank you.
To the point where we walked away and went, "Oh man, wish we could be that tight."
God, that was just the warm up show as well.
so good, dude. But
we can do better. Let us back up there.
Yeah, anytime, any fucking time, because we talk about it all the time. We're like, man, how sick would it be to like get those guys up and do a show with them? Because we would love to fucking play with you, but you just, we wouldn't be.
Book us and we will come.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the dream.
I didn't mean it to sound like that, but yes,
it's the dream.
Like if the backyard's big enough, squeeze us all in there.
I keep threatening to do that. I'll just move.
Our show only goes for half an hour, so we can get through most of our set before the police turn up.
Well, I'm surrounded by people who like hip hop a lot, so I'm sure they could suffer for it through some fucking death metal and black metal, and extreme metal, and whatever the fuck. Yeah, fuck them. Yeah. But hey, man. Oh, it's doing it. It's doing the minute. I don't know why it does that.
No,
it's more time. But I know you've taken your break today, man. Tonight, but I appreciate it, man. Anytime you jump on, you're a good dude, and I like hanging with you. So hopefully we can catch up for a beer soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully before the year's out. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But in the meantime, die for us. I'll have all the links down here and on the website and all that jazz. Brother, good to see you again, man. Let's
Likewise.
do this again soonish.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Down to the last 10 seconds. Out on Bandcamp worldwide, Die For Us, July the 12th, and out on physicals and all streaming services, July 19th. Booyah,
That's going to do it. Is it time?